Turn me in, for Christ's sake. I got 1,000 for you.
I didn't hear you.
I said I got 2,000. On me, right now.
Get up. Let's do it for real. Get up! Get up, I said! So help me, I'll let you have it right where you are.
I cannot stand all the time, and in this country no one's head shall be higher than kings.
The Magnificent Seven had people in the 60s glued to their screens. But their lives off-camera were not like anyone would have imagined. Fame didn't make them immortal or their lives easier, and some of the actors faced struggles nobody saw coming. Now let's look at 14 casts in The Magnificent who tragically passed away. Who among the cast members faced tragedy too soon? Who survived against the odds? Join us to run through a list of the Magnificent Seven. 1960 cast members who tragically passed away. Number 14. Steve McQueen. Hollywood's most magnetic rebel was just hitting his stride when death came knocking. At 30, Steve McQueen brought pure energy to the screen as Vin Tanner, the sharpshooter whose quick wit made danger look effortless. Steve McQueen was born on March 24, 1930, and quickly rose to fame with a role that would define a generation. He was a star of his own, with fearless energy and magnetic charm. But even that couldn't shield him from mesothelioma, and even though he put up a good fight, the sickness won when he was 50. On November 7, 1980, the world lost one of its brightest talents, leaving fans to wonder how far he could have gone if he had lived longer. A brilliant life cut short. Who faces the next shocking fate? Number 13. Horst Buchholz. The youngest gunslinger carried the film's emotional weight on his 26-year-old shoulders. Horst Buchholz, born December 4, 1933, exploded onto American screens as Chico, the hot-headed dreamer desperate to prove himself among legends. His European sophistication brought unexpected depth to the dusty frontier, while his romance with Petra gave audiences a reason to believe in love conquering violence. The irony was crushing. The actor who embodied youthful invincibility fell victim to pneumonia on March 3, 2003, at 69, a disease that typically targets the frail and elderly. The young gun's blazing passion was snuffed out by the most unexpected assassin, proving that death doesn't care about your age when it comes calling. Even at their peak, tragedy strikes. Who's next in line? Number 12. John A. Alonzo. At just 26, John A. Alonzo played Miguel with the fierce determination of youth, struggling to survive in a harsh world. He was born on June 12, 1934, bringing with him a real sense of life to the villagers' fight. He never imagined his future would shine behind the camera. Alonzo grew up to become one of Hollywood's most respected cinematographers, working on classics like Chinatown and Scarface. He was doing so great until cancer struck, ending his life despite his immense talent. On March 13, 2001, he passed away at 66, leaving a legacy of unforgettable images and films that continue to inspire generations. The man who learned to capture light and shadow on film couldn't escape the darkness that eventually consumed him, leaving behind a legacy of visual poetry cut tragically short. Hidden Battles claim another star. Can you guess who's coming? Number 11. James Coburn. Brits spoke fewer words than any character in The Magnificent Seven, but James Coburn's presence thundered across every scene. At 31 during filming, born August 31, 1928, he created cinema's most mysteriously lethal gunfighter, a knife-throwing artist whose speed was supernatural and whose silence was deadlier than bullets. He moved with uncanny precision, each gesture seeming effortless. But over time, severe rheumatoid arthritis began to take its toll, and those once perfect hands started to fail him. The man who made deadly accuracy look effortless spent his final years fighting his own body. On November 18, 2002, at 74, he passed away, showing that even lightning-fast reflexes can't protect anyone from life's slowest, most painful battles. Illness spares no one. Who's next to fall unexpectedly? Number 10. Jorge Martinez de Hoyos. Hilario wasn't one of the 7 guns, but Jorge Martinez de Hoyos made him the beating heart of the entire epic. At 39 during filming, born September 25, 1920, he embodied the desperate courage of ordinary people pushed beyond human limits. His portrayal of the villager who first dared to suggest hiring gunfighters was so authentic because he understood what it meant to fight for survival against impossible odds. That same inner strength carried him through his final battle when lung cancer, the identical disease that would also claim Yul Brynner, began its merciless assault. On May 6, 1997, his 76-year journey came to an end. It showed that heroes don't always wield weapons. Sometimes they carry hope until even hope can't hold on. Life can end too soon. Who will surprise us next? Number 9. Yul Brynner. The man who made baldness legendary in westerns had a fatal flaw hidden in plain sight. Yul Brynner's Chris Adams commanded absolute respect with a single glance, but behind that granite exterior was a 40-year-old actor, born July 11, 1920, who couldn't conquer his own demons. His chain-smoking habit gave him that cool, contemplative demeanor that defined his screen persona, but it was slowly writing his death sentence. The theatrical powerhouse who transformed from Broadway stages to dusty film sets created the most unforgettable leader in Western history. But lung cancer, fed by years of cigarettes, claimed the legendary performer on October 10, 1985, at just 65. The man who could stare down any gunslinger couldn't defeat the enemy that was killing him with every breath. Quiet struggles behind the fame. Who steps into the spotlight next? Number 8. Robert Vaughn. Lee was the intellectual among killers, and Robert Vaughn was born to portray him. At just 27 during filming, born November 22, 1932, Vaughn created the most psychologically complex character in the entire ensemble, a haunted soul who questioned mortality, purpose, and the very meaning of violence itself. Lee wasn't just afraid of dying. He was terrified of living without meaning. The cerebral approach that made his performance unforgettable became eerily prophetic when acute leukemia began its silent siege on his own mortality. November 11, 2016, marked the end of his 83-year intellectual journey, proving that even the most brilliant minds can't think their way out of life's final, inevitable showdown. Their journey was defined by pain and perseverance. So, who's up next? Number 7. Vladimir Sokolov. At 70 years old during filming, Vladimir Sokolov was already a living piece of cinema history when he portrayed the village elder. Vladimir was born on December 26, 1889, and lived long enough to see cinema evolve from silent films all the way to the groundbreaking Magnificent Seven. His weathered face carried the weight of decades, bringing a sense of real authenticity to every role. He gave the impression of being unstoppable, a man of quiet strength and age-earned wisdom. But nothing could prepare him for the stroke that struck on February 15, 1962, just 2 years after the film's release, at 72. Sometimes life writes its final chapters faster than even the wisest can read them. Sudden loss shakes us all. Who's next in this countdown? Number 6. Charles Bronson. Behind those weathered features that made Bernardo O'Reilly unforgettable was a 38-year-old actor, born November 3, 1921, who understood authentic hardship because he'd lived it. Bronson brought real grit to every frame. His portrayal of the gunfighter with a soft spot for children wasn't acting. It was pure Charles Bronson. The man who became synonymous with tough guy roles proved his strength wasn't just for cameras when he battled respiratory and congestive heart failure for years. Unlike his quick-draw characters, Bronson fought his final battle slowly and courageously, finally succumbing on August 30th, 2003 at 81. Who beats all, outlasting the rest? Number 5. Brad Dexter. Harry Luck was the group's ray of sunshine, always believing treasure waited at the end of every dangerous trail. Brad Dexter, 43 during filming and born April 9, 1917, infused the character with infectious enthusiasm that made audiences smile even during the darkest gunfights. His Harry Luck saw opportunities where others saw only death, chasing dreams with reckless joy. But life can be so unpredictable. The same actor who showcased boundless hope soon faced a future where every breath he could manage to take became a struggle. Emphysema slowly strangled the man who once filled screens with larger-than-life energy, claiming him on December 12, 2002, at 85. The cruelest irony struck when the person who loved life most had to fight hardest just to keep living it. Age didn't stop them. Who takes the next spot? Number 4. Rosenda Monteros. Petra brought romance and hope to a story drenched in violence and despair. Rosenda Monteros was just 25 during the filming of The Magnificent Seven. Born Rosa Mendez Leza on August 31, 1935, in Veracruz, Mexico. She was just 25 during filming. Her portrayal of Petra, the young woman found by Chico in the forest, added depth and humanity to the film's narrative. Monteros studied drama under Seki Sano and had a prolific film career in both Mexico and the United States. She appeared in over 260 plays and was honored by the Mexican Society of Theater Critics for her contributions to the stage. Her effortless chemistry with Horst Buchholz's Chico gave viewers reason to believe in happy endings despite the gunfire and bloodshed. For a very long time, she carried that same grace through life, watching her legendary co-stars fall one by one to various tragedies while she lived even longer. But pelvic cancer finally claimed her on December 29, 2018, at 83, making her one of the last survivors of this iconic cast. Their stories linger, still standing. Who's next? Number 3. Rico Alanis. Some performers blend into the background of great films, but every role matters in creating movie magic. Rico Alanis was 40 during filming, born October 25, 1919, portraying Sotero with the kind of authentic presence that made the desperate village feel genuinely real and lived in. While his famous co-stars battled cancer, disease, and heartbreaking tragedies, Alanis quietly lived one of the longest lives in the entire legendary cast. Natural causes finally claimed him on March 9, 2015, at the remarkable age of 95, proving that sometimes the supporting players experience the most extraordinary journeys of all. His peaceful departure reminded everyone that not all Hollywood stories end in devastating tragedy. Some simply fade to black with quiet dignity intact. Natural causes claim the oldest. Who joins them next? Number 2. Eli Wallach. The bandit leader Calvera was supposed to be despised, but Eli Wallach made audiences secretly admire him anyway. At 44 during filming, born December 7, 1915, Wallach created cinema's most charismatic antagonist, a villain so charming and intelligent you almost forgot he was terrorizing innocent families. While his heroic co-stars fell to various diseases and tragedies across the decades, Wallach seemed utterly unstoppable, defying mortality with the same swagger his character showed on screen. He lived an absolutely extraordinary 98 years before natural causes finally caught up with him on June 24, 2014. The man who played death-dealing bandits became a master of life itself, outlasting nearly everyone from the original cast and proving that sometimes the villains really do get the last laugh in the end. Outliving peers brings quiet triumph. Who steps forward next? Number 1. Natividad Vacío. In an ensemble where every face mattered, Natividad Vacío represented the ordinary people whose lives hung desperately in the balance. At 47 during filming, born July 26, 1912, he brought working-class authenticity to every single frame he appeared in, making the village's terror feel immediate and personal. While stars grabbed headlines and awards, Vacío quietly continued his career, appearing in numerous films and television shows over the following decades. Natural causes ended his 84-year journey on October 31, 1996, Halloween night, as if even death possessed a sense of perfect dramatic timing. His passing on the spookiest night of the year reminded everyone that the true magic of movies comes from every performer, no matter how small their role might initially seem to be. Which of these stars' stories hit you hardest, and who left the biggest mark? If you could bring one of these icons back for a modern tribute, who would it be? Let us know what you think. Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.